workout. So welcome to strength workout. This is where we get super strong. We don't know how strong you are yet. So the bottom line is this is going to be challenging, but it will be a journey. This is progression, okay? So we want to master the movements, make sure that we're coming to the story with a really good physical disposition. And we're going to do some reactive foam rolling really quick. So let's hit the hips. So have a seat on the foam roller. Let's go left leg over right. And we're just going to work through the back side of the hip. And today is an Add-A-Day sponsored day. So we're going to use some of the recovery tools from Add-A-Day. And then we've got a clinic coming up afterwards that will also be available on demand with Dr. Mike, who is their medical expert for Add-A-Day. It took me a while to figure out Add-A-Day. That's ADD, Add-A-Day. So I think that's a really cool name because if you focus on your recovery and your movement, let's go into that upper back, you will be able to add a day of training. So I thought that was pretty damn smart. Okay, so hands behind your head. Just gonna work through that upper back nice and gently. And just one more. All right, good. Okay, so let's get into a little bit of foundation training. I want to take your knees into the shoulder width position. We're in a full kneeling position. From here, I want you to take your feet so that you can see them. So if you were looking into the TV or the computer, you need to be able to have your feet outside of your hips. And that's going to put your hips into internal rotation. Okay, so that's the front view. From right there, I want you to just let your hips slightly go to the back. From there, we're going to get measuring sticks. So your thumb is on your bottom rib, pinky is on your hips. From there, I want you to expand your rib cage. And I want you to make your wide back. So focusing on breathing into the back side of your body today. We're going to be patient and go 5 huge breaths. We're using the measuring sticks to ensure we're knitting the belly, engaging the belly, so that the rib cage does not fall. One more, big breath. From there, let the hips float to the back just a little bit more. Keep those feet outside the knees. From here, you're going to scoop from the bottom and get into a founder. So even just by putting the hands out front, you are lighting up the back side of the body. Hold that strong. Raise your hands up just a little bit higher. Drive your hips to the back. Your toes should feel light on the ground. Hold strong. Pull your chin back and widen your chest. So open up your clavicles, guys. 2 big breaths here. And one more. Good. We're going to go right back into one kneeling founder. Right there. Make sure you breathe into your back. Big breath. Decompress. Hips to the back. Hands in long wing. Pull your hands away from your ears. Scoop your hands to the front. Hips to the back. That immediately lights up my low back a little bit. If your low back feels this, stay with it. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being I can't handle it anymore, let it creep up to an 8 or a 7. And just keep breathing. Keep pulling your ribs away from your hips. We got 5 big breaths. Keep your hands high. Try and get them up at forehead height. 2, 3, 4. And one more. Hey, hopefully you hung around. Sorry about that. I'm back. Okay, let's get right back to work, guys. Hopefully you got a quick drink. Okay, so let's, got the old computer going back again. Apologize for that. Here's what we're at. We're working hip rotation. Okay, so we've got a nice wide stance. We're just gonna rotate across, rotate across. Let's go 6 more. 2, 2, 3, and 3. Okay, good. So we might have a little bit of pauses along the way, but just stick with me. We're gonna go alternating knee grabs. 2. This is standing. So now we're working on that lower leg, opening up that hip capsule. So let's add some, first grab kettlebells or bells number. Okay. Okay, hopefully you got 3, 4, 4, 5, and 5. Okay, next one. We did a little bit of overhead weighted walks the other day. I want you to reach up over your head, and I want you to walk out of the screen and then back, okay? I'm just gonna walk around my mat. Nice big reach, overhead, weighted walks. So we've got decoupled hips, long lats, and good. Okay, so we're coming right back to it. Let me take a quick peek. Okay, hopefully you guys are okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Split stance. So this is a squat because there's no step and return. We're gonna go overhead position. And from right here, we're dropping straight down, straight back up. 2, we're gonna go 10 of these. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, hold up tall. 8, 9, 10. Arms come back down. That's gonna make us taller. Okay, other side. Nice big stance. Long stride. Hands overhead. Split squat. 10 reps. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep your chest big, keep your back wide. 8, and 10. All right, so that should definitely be warming up your upper back. Okay, so from right there, we're gonna do a little bit of arm tracing. So let's go 1.5 times shoulder width with your stance. Drop. Mid chest up, stay wide. So let's go, you're gonna drop chin back, chest up. Stay wide through your clavicles. We're dragging the thumbs all the way to the armpits. Flip the hands, drop the shoulders, reach behind the head, and then come all the way to the front. Drag them, flip, drop all the way down. We're gonna do this one more time. Thumbs up, elbows up. Drop the elbows, show me the hands. Reach the hands behind your head. Reach forward, come all the way back, drag the thumbs, elevate the elbows, come all the way back down. Stand back up. Arm tracing. The next thing I want to introduce you to today is called a mofo. So what we're going to do, we've already set anchors on the lower part of the body. Toes together, heels apart, knees together. That activates inner thigh. which releases outer hip. When we do a mofo, we're going to do the same thing. So we want to go 1.5 times shoulder width. From right here, we're going to drop the hips to the back. Arms come into long wing. We scoop them forward into that sphere of tension, and then we bring the elbows all the way together. And from right there, you're going to feel tension in your back. From right here, tip and reach just a little bit further. Hands are going forward, elbows stay together. So we're in this position, and we're just reaching forward and back, forward and back. Now change the hand position so the palms are up. We're just going to glide through a mofo. Reach, reach, try and keep your shoulder blades low. 3, 4, and 5. Come back to long wing, come right back out of that. We're going to work into many, many different combinations of that. Okay, so let's get the little baby weights out of the way. The foam roller out of the way. Hopefully you did a little bit of that before we started this session, but if you didn't, do it after. And we're gonna get our kettlebell number 3. Or for a lot of you guys, you've got your heavy dumbbells, okay? We're going through a circuit. We're gonna go double arm, split stance, bent over rows. That's gonna be our first one. Then we're gonna switch to a single kettlebell or single dumbbell squat pattern. And then we're gonna go into a lateral lunge pattern with only one dumbbell, okay? So we're gonna go a row, a squat, and then a lunge. That's a circuit. We're gonna go around that circuit today, guys, 3 times, okay? So first thing we're gonna start with to prime that movement is just parallel stance, square up your feet. We're gonna go 10 RDLs, 1 set. So just nice straight legs. 1, set of 10, 2, 3, 4, squeeze the glutes when you get to the top, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, good, and 10, and then all the way back down. So when we do those RDLs, the only purpose of that is just to warm up the hips, warm up the low back. Okay, next one. Here can we start the circuit. So we're gonna go left leg in front of right. Not too long with the stride. Left leg is gonna stay relatively straight, soft through the knee. We're going bent over row, left leg in front, double arm, 8 reps. Okay, right there. Come up nice and tall. Tip at the hip. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, next one. We're gonna go parallel stance, goblet squat. We're gonna go 10 reps here. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, keep going. 5, hips way to the back. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we're gonna just go one side and then the other. So let's do a step and return, lunge pattern, step, reach to knee. 1, with that heavy load, keep that knee in. 8 reps, 3, 4, you do not need to go lower than your knee. 5, 6, your hips should be way to the back. 7, 8, good, change sides. That knee should be in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, we're going right back to the heavy rows. This time we'll do a split stance, right leg in front of left. Okay, hopefully you put your dumbbells down in between. Ready? Circuit's coming at us again. Come up tall, tip at the hip, 8 reps. Six, 7, and 8. Right into our parallel stance squats. Okay, it's a goblet position. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lateral step. Reach to knee. Lateral lunge. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Last one. 8. If that feels sore in that knee, just make less of a movement or add less load. So decrease from that heavy dumbbell. 8 reps. 2, trail leg should be nice and long. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so for our last bent over row, because we're going 3 rounds, we're going to go 4 reps on the left, 4 reps on the right. Try and stay down when you change legs, okay? So people are still here, so we must be doing okay. Okay, good. All right, so last round, left leg in front of right. We got 4 reps. Weight should feel heavy. You should need a little bit of a break. Ready? Tip. 4, 2, 3, 4. Change legs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, into our squats. Stay with me, good pace. Woo! Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 6. Keep the space, big breath. 7, 8, 10 squats today. You can notice these subtle progressions workout by workout. Here we go for 8, lateral step. 3, 4, 5. Perfect lateral step. Keep that foot straight. 7. One more. 8. Other side. Good posture. 1, 2, 3. Starting to feel that in my ankle a little bit, which is good. 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, good job. Okay, so we're gonna go into a woodpecker series
really quick, and we're gonna use that mofo again, okay? So, a little bit longer stride than this one. This is kind of where we were rowing. Want to go a longer stride. Load up that lead leg to about 70% of weight. Take a big breath. Look over the cliff. Load up your left big toe. Push that big toe into the ground. Keep your left heel on the ground. Drive your left hip back. Okay, so you can get your hip back without loading up your heel. That should make your glute really on fire. Okay, so let's just come out of that. The goal here is to load the crap out of this left leg using our own body weight. As we tip forward, look over the cliff. From right there, make sure your back foot is nice and straight, big toe turned under. From there, we're gonna load the hands to the height of the heart. From right there, we're gonna drop the elbows into that mofo. That immediately should light up your glute just by pulling your elbows together. Now you're gonna drive your elbows back towards you and then far away. 1, keep the gas pedal on your left leg. 2, 3, every single time you reach. 4, 1 more. And 5, and come back in the long wing, come back out of that. Every single time you reach those arms forward, you should feel tightening in your hip. That's because of that big band of fascia back there. It's called your thoracolumbar fascia, thoracic spine, lumbar spine, and it's a big protective mechanism. Okay, so let's go right leg in front of left. Both feet nice and straight. Big toe tucked under on your left leg. Take a big breath. Create space. Load up your right forefoot, but keep your right heel on the ground. Get used to this position. We are loading the crap out of your right leg, okay? That's the goal. Take a big breath in this position. Hands are still in measuring sticks. Take your hands into long wing. From right there, driving into your right big toe. Bring your hands forward to the height of your heart or the height of your chin. From right there, we're gonna drop down into that mofo. Elbows together, palms are up. And we're gonna reach 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, push into your big toe, and 5. Come back out of that. Okay, good job. Take a little shake out with that. And I want you to get your number 1 dumbbell or kettlebell. So you only need 1 of them, okay? From right here, we're gonna go into a forward fold. And that is a huge hip flexion. When we go into a big flexion here, it means we're getting a ton of length back here, and then we're gonna hit it with some strength work, okay? So, nice wide stance. Place your kettlebell or your dumbbell about 2.5 feet forward in front of you. From right here, we're gonna start with measuring sticks. Take a big breath, create space. Drive your hips to the back. Weight on your heels, but your toes are on the ground. Elbows long, pulling your hands away from your ears. From right there, hips drive back, hands float to the height of the heart. From right here, drive your hips back a little bit further. You might want to watch your screen really quick. I'm going to drop my head and go straight down from my hips to the top of my kettlebell. I'm going to drop my head. I'm going to let my spine flex. Make sure your toes stay turned in. This is a big forward fold. Bring your hands back. Bring your hands back to your shins, up to your knees, and all the way back up. So that's a founder into forward fold, okay? So from right there, we're gonna do 3 times. So we're starting with big breath. Pull the ribs away from the hips. Make yourself wide. If your shoulders are up around your ears, drop them. Float your elbows to the side. Breathe into your side. Right there, drive into long wing. Load up your heels. Scoop the hands to the height of your chin. Drop all the way forward. through the hips. Let those hips go. Let your head go. Long through your arms. Give me 2 big breaths here. Walk your hands back to the middle, back to your shins. Come up to your knees. Come all the way back up into long wing. Scoop your hands all the way to the front. From right here, anchor in. We know what that is. Activate all the muscles in the inner thighs. Anchor in, release that anchor. Forward fold. Drop your head. Walk your toes, make sure that they are turned in. Drive your hips to the back. Arms to the front. 2 big breaths. One more. Walk your hands back to the middle, back to your shins. Come back up to your knees and step together and just shake that out. All right, guys. So now we're gonna go into a goblet squat, split squat, just like this. And as we go down, the first set is just gonna be 6 reps, straight down, straight back up. That's the first set, and we're only doing that one time, okay? So the hamstrings are pretty much talking to me right now. I'm sure they're having a little chat with you as well from that forward fold. Okay, both feet nice and straight, split stance, goblet squat, 6 reps, each leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Change sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, Cyril, if you're watching this, I think you're watching on demand today, but just be careful with your hips. You guys don't ever force yourself beyond anything that's comfortable. We're coming back to woodpecker. Nice big breath. We're driving the hip back, but keep the weight forward, loading up the forefoot. I want you to feel your glute. Bring your hands into the height of your knee, knee or chin. From there, bring your hands back onto your hips. Right leg is in front, left hip rotating across, anchoring in with your right adductor. Come right back out of that. Ready? Here we go again. Rotate, left hip to right thigh anchors in. 2 more of those. And 1 more. Good. Switch to the other side. So we've got a nice big posture here. Okay. Hands on your hips. Hips drive back. Weight goes forward. Hopefully you saw that. Watch this. Hips go back. Weight goes forward. That's how we get into that position. Float your hands to your chin. Left leg is loaded up. Once we feel it loaded up, hands back to the hips. Right hip towards left thigh. Left thigh anchors in. 1. We got 4 of these. 2. 3. 1 more. And 4. Okay, we're going goblet squat with rotation, 6 on the right, 6 on the left. We prime it and then we load it. Okay, here we go, right leg in front of left. We're gonna go down and turn. We're anchoring in with the right leg. Come right back up. 1, anchor in with the right leg. 2, 6 reps. 3, 4, 5, 1 more. 6. Change to the other side. Hold strong. We're anchoring in with that left knee, left adductor. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. 6. All right. We got one more superset. And what we're going to do is we're going to load and then unload. So we're going to go single leg RDL with the heavy weight. Now, if you have not been stable with the lighter loads, please use a kickstand. This right leg right here, that's my kickstand. Now I've gotten to the point where I can load one leg, even though this is still on the ground, right? So if you haven't been stable yet on with the lighter loads, use your kickstand. If you have, let's get to work a little bit. These heavier loads actually make single leg work just a little bit easier as long as you can find your forefoot. 2 points of contact, right behind your big toe, right behind your pinky toe. Third point is your heel, okay? So let's go 6 and 6. Standing on your left leg. Some of you will use a kickstand. I may go half and half. We're gonna tip, come back up. 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. 6. Good. Same thing other side. 6 reps. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Woo! Okay, guys. I am super sorry about the tech glitch today. We just keep trying to make things a little bit better, but the new computer was just not having it. So if you're on demand, thank you for replaying this. If you guys are here with me now and you have a couple questions, now's a good time. I have very subtle progression strategies. So just keep trusting and believing in the process. Okay. It's really bad today, sorry. Yeah, we got it better on the second one. It's the new computer, so I just really apologize. We'll make sure that we get this one. Brian, are we able to get this one really fast onto YouTube?
Yeah.
We're gonna rush this one onto YouTube for you guys, okay? So you need to be subscribing to the ECFIT channel on YouTube because we'll get this whole workout right back onto YouTube, hopefully by Wednesday or Thursday. Brian, is that possible?
Yeah, we could probably have it by tomorrow.
Oh, he says even by tomorrow. How do we relate the hip decoupling into our running? What a wonderful question. Hip decoupling, so the most beautiful part of running, and if you look on my story today on Instagram, Leela and Manu, my friends from Miami, granted they're little, but they have the most beautiful hip extension. And it didn't take me long as a strength coach focusing on endurance athletes to realize that this position in running is what we're after. We're after this beautiful length, and there's so many athletes that are good at that. Hip decoupling is about allowing the pelvic girdle, the 2 bones that support all of that musculature and much more, it allows them to move with freedom. And when they can move with freedom, we can have big hip extension. And when we have big hip extension, it usually means our speed is coming to us relatively easily because everything is just moving with ease. There's no sense fighting yourself. So hip decoupling is super important. And I don't want you to actually think about it when you're running. When you run, just run. But when you're preparing to run, I really want you to work your hip decoupling exercises before you go for a meaningful run. Little stiffness in the shoulder during the mofo. Yes, no, that's not unusual. Or that position Took me a long time to get into that position where I could actually get my elbows together. So you just want to kind of work into this a little bit. And what it does, it creates balance. And when there's balance on the front side of the shoulder and the back side of the shoulder, that's a lot like hip decoupling for the shoulder girdle. So when we're swimming and we have this movement and rotation through our upper body, we can actually grab the water in a much more meaningful, easy way, and then use the power to get going. So that is like hip decoupling. So don't force anything into these mofos. They're actually going to get easier and easier for you as we do it. Mofo. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. I don't actually, that's funny. We all know the meaning of mofo when we use it in slang and in life, but I'm sure that the guys at Foundation Training have a big story why they call it a mofo, but I called it a mofo because it was freaking hard. So yeah. Other than that, we good to go, everybody? We're going to take a little break. We're going to come back with Dr. Mike from Add a Day. It might be a session that you might want to do on demand because you've just done this session, but we're excited to be having him as part of our expert series, and we'll be blowing that out here live. Mahalo, peace. And other than that, please come back and watch that episode because we're going to talk about tissue release, tissue care. We're not only going to use the percussion tool, we are going to use a lot of other tools as well in this session. So we're going to talk about what it takes to get ready for your next session. But in the short term, I want to direct all of you, we still have 44 people online. I am now starting a private membership page on Facebook. So this is my personal invitation to you to join that Facebook page because that's where we're going to start doing most of our chats. And that's where I'll answer most of your questions from here going forward. We've just got to get everything kind of condensed. Okay. So if you're on Facebook, I'll be either sending you an invite or try and just search for the ECFIT private member page. And we'll see, I'll make sure I get you in the right place. But that way we can do a Q&A, we can all share together, we become much more community oriented. So I'm excited about our future. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll be back in just a few minutes with Dr. Mike. Cheers. Bye, everybody. Thanks, Tessa. Thanks for coming in today. Thanks, everybody from all over the planet.